Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comics on Comics.
Episode 9.
Episode 9, I'm Max.
I'm Oscar.
We're talking about Invincible.
Issues 20 to 47.
Yeah, let's say 20 to 47. Back half of the compendium.
Let's say. That's the fact of
I
the matter.
I didn't read 7 of those issues.
It's not the last 7.
Yeah.
It's just 7 rant. Max was like, I'm going to skip this one.
Anyways, before we get into that, it's been 2 weeks.
Well, not for you, but for us. So for us, we haven't done this in 2 weeks. A lot happened. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No one ever likes it.
Wasn't fun.
I went to therapy on the Tuesday after
Dude,
Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, literally. I was talking to my therapist, who's usually like very calm and collected, and I was like, "This must be a good week for you. You're getting a lot of work.
Yeah.
Everyone's upset for their family." And he like broke character. He actually started laughing, like not like a therapist chuckle. Like he was cackling.
That's fun.
And I was
scary.
I was kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's really.
I was like, I can't see this guy break character.
He
This guy
showed emotion.
He needs to be a constant. But it's just like this. If I'm charming and funny enough to make my therapist laugh, I can accomplish anything in the world.
Sure.
And that's a terrifying notion.
That's not what the lesson that most people would have gotten from that interaction.
The therapist is the most difficult person to make laugh, I think.
I don't think that's true. I think a therapist...
Genuinely.
Oh, sure, maybe. Dude, if you look up therapists in New York City, it's like 1 million therapists, and then they're like $500, like, per half hour or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, so that's not happening. And then I look up therapists in New York City available now, because, by the way, all these websites love to just give you therapists who are not taking anybody. Mm-hmm. Like, they exist in New York City, so they're a therapist, they come up. And I'm like, that's not.
You want me to ask her a referral for you?
I don't. I can't afford your guy.
No, a referral to a different person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who he knows who's good.
Maybe. I looked up queer therapists in New York City. Don't do that.
They don't advertise it, do they?
Oh, no, they do, but, they're like sex therapists.
Oh my god.
Like, all they want to talk about is sex. And I just wanted someone who wouldn't be mad at me for having some problems related to that. But they are just sex therapists.
Well, if they had problems that you had a problem related to that, I think that'd be like a Title IX issue.
Yeah, but it's a little hard.
What else is new?
I didn't get out of bed today till we recorded this. And to put in context, we record this at like
7 p.m.
On average, 7, yeah. Because I woke up at 10:15. I have to get to class at 11 a.m. 10:15, and I was really not feeling good. And I don't like this class. So I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So I didn't go to that class. But then I fell back asleep till 6:30. So
nice. In between last episode and this episode, I figured out how to whistle.
Yeah, and you've picked it up.
And I can't stop whistling.
I knew Oscar was home today.
I cannot stop whistling. It's like a compulsion. Because my old compulsion was like picking my cuticles.
Yeah.
But now I'm whistling. And it's not good because I'll be walking down the street whistling like an old man.
People look at you.
And people get scared.
When I'm walking down the street, I always have headphones on, and I'm not going to lie. If the song is hitting, I will sing. Mm-hmm. People don't look. You can sing in New York City.
But you can't walk down the street like...
No, you can't be whistling.
People don't like it.
People are fine with you talking, because more often than not, if someone's talking out loud in New York City, they're kind of crazy. Yeah. So you shouldn't approach them anyway. Just let them be.
No one knows if it's AirPods or heroin.
Yeah, but whistling is normal enough where you're just kind of weird.
I think they think it's like a threat.
AirPods or heroin? Is it AirPods or heroin?
It's like a game show. No, but it's like... I think whistling's been stigmatized, because, like, you remember, like, Puss in Boots' Last Wish?
Yeah.
That wolf was whistling, dude.
He was. I think it's been stigmatized in the last not even a year?
People think I'm the wolf.
Because everybody thought Puss in Boots.
That was called an example.
Oh. I thought you were being, like, this classic, this classic work of global cinema is stigmatized.
No, it's called an example.
Puss in Boots' Last Wish. That's a good movie.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
The beginning is so boring.
I really didn't like it as much as everyone else, just to be different, because everyone was like, it's the best movie ever made, and I'm like...
I'm really rubbing off on them.
And I'm like, shut up. There's a cat.
It's
slightly more mature than most things you normally watch.
Anyway, all of this is to say, if I start whistling randomly throughout the episode, I'm okay.
Yeah, and I'm okay too. Lying in bed all day, half asleep. I looked it up. Pretty normal for college kids.
You had to look it up?
Yeah, I like to look things up that I do to affirm that I'm as unhealthy as everyone else in my age group. What?
All right.
What?
I've never done that before.
Well, as a college kid in my age group, you've never.
Stayed in bed all day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. But not when I have classes.
Sure, but if you were to have classes, it would not be the most abnormal thing.
It would be abnormal in the sense I don't do it often. But
No, for abnormal for you, but for your age group.
I've never looked it up.
Oh. I'm assimilating.
I've never been so insecure about my actions that I went to Google.
Well, how would you feel secure within yourself then?
I just wouldn't.
Do you guys want to hear about the time that me and my girlfriend used ChatGPT to affirm whether or not we should sleep over together? Because we were scared our parents would get mad, and we were like, ChatGPT, do you think our parents will get mad if we have a sleepover? And ChatGPT was like, well, what are the contexts surrounding the problem? And we were like, well, we want to sleep over, but our parents might get mad. And then they were like, yeah, parents get... Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a he. And it's certainly not a she. It's fine. And then it was like, well, I think that it'll be fine because your parents will understand. And so we did it, and it was fine.
Did they understand?
Yeah, it was fine. My mom was like, "What?" Mom was like, "You're supposed to ask permission." And then I was like, "I asked ChatGPT." She was like,
"Did ChatGPT give birth to you?"
She was like, she just didn't care.
That's what my mom would say to me.
My mom just like didn't. My mom was like, "Just take Niall home," and like, I don't care. That's been the life update. Oh, I've also had to defend myself from attacks of people telling me to watch Invincible Season 2. Everyone I know is like, Max, are you watching Invincible Season 2? Because when Invincible Season 1 came out, I was like the Invincible guy, because I already read the comic. So when people were like, whoa, that's so good, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, are you watching Season 2? And I'm like, no.
Doesn't seem good.
Doesn't seem good.
Let us know in the comments how Invincible Season 2 is.
Yeah, and whenever they ask why, I'm like, I'm just rereading the book, I don't want to get confused. And they're like, why does it matter if you're confused? And it's because Oscar and I are keeping the podcast, like, we're not telling people, really, so that everyone discovers it naturally.
I tell people. But all the people
You tell people who are not going to watch it.
I tell people who will never watch it.
Yeah, the people who are asking me might watch it.
All of my friends.
Yeah, my
friends don't like me.
My friends are into this kind of stuff. They might watch it, so I can't tell them. Anyways, do you want to talk about the comic book?
No. Before we even talk about this, I have to talk about the fucking compendium.
Oh, yeah.
What a stupid thing.
It's not easy to read.
What the fuck? I read it out of the compendium. Just terrible.
It's at least some compendiums are this big, but they're not even binded well enough to
bound,
yeah. Bound.
Fucking idiot.
Bound well enough to stay together. This is not falling apart, at least.
No, but I was just like,
yeah,
it's just a fucking log. Dude.
It's really weird, but it's really economical because this whole thing is $50.
And you got it for 30% off.
Yeah.
Off of cheapgraphicnovels.com.
Yeah. The whole it's an economical choice.
But God, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no downsides.
No, there's a lot of downsides.
At least the binding's not too tight that you can actually read the pages.
Yeah.
Unlike our last American comic.
What did we read last time?
We only find them.
Oh, yeah, that was really tight. Anyways.
Also, we read so much. We read an absurd amount of Invincible.
Invincible goes really fast.
Okay, but also...
Yeah, we've read so much.
We read 20 chapters of One Piece, which I would say those chapters on average are way lighter than an Invincible chapter.
Yeah.
And then we read 30 chapters of Invincible.
Start reading more One
that are
Piece
heavy.
then?
I just want to say it feels a little unfair. Just a little. What do I think this was about? Thank you for asking.
What do you think this was about?
I'm not fucking doing this. So many things happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over the biggest plot points right now.
Uh-huh.
Eve moves to Africa.
Perhaps the most minor plot point.
Mark starts dating Amber. Mark goes to space and sees his dad with bugs.
Obviously the first thing you should have said.
Can we just talk about it? Like, this is way too many things happen.
What do you want to talk about, though?
This comic, obviously I'm not big into the Invincible discourse side of the world, correct?
Yeah, because the Invincible discourse side of the world is a huge portion of online.
Do people know how fucking absurd this comic is? Do people realize?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, does the average fan of this...
they take it really seriously?
Are they, like, I'm enjoying this because this is fucking crazy, or are they enjoying this because it's so good? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I don't know the difference, but
I think it's so good because of how absurd it is.
yeah, I mean, I think most people that are watching the show,
Mm-hmm.
at least people that watch season 1, probably took it way more seriously than they should have.
Yeah.
Which is really not their fault.
No.
Because the first season of the show
Takes itself very seriously.
People who read the comics are mostly people who just like superhero comics, and
right.
this isn't a superhero comic. So I can't imagine them thinking about it.
Because this comic is absurd.
Yeah, it's completely insane.
The main plot point that I think happened in these issues is Mark finds Omni-Man on a planet of bugs where he has a new bug wife and a new bug son.
Yes.
Which...
The bug wife will be living for another 2 weeks, by the way.
It's...
Or something.
Actually fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how to express to you, like...
Oh yeah, you didn't know that.
The shock and awe of reading that.
You had absolutely no idea.
I was blindsided.
I don't remember what it was like when I first read that.
But it's actually crazy.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That plot twist is actually crazy. And
they just move on. Immediately.
The funniest thing they do is that Robert Kirkman, he writes this. He writes this insane thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is so insane. And then the next chapter, he puts Mark in a situation where he just... The whole problem he has is that he has to explain the plot of the comic to his mom. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's actually crazy. It's really funny. Because it's like it's a very meta moment.
Really ridiculous.
I really like it, though.
It's really good.
Really
good.
It's really good. Because there's a million different plots that are just as absurd as the plot before.
And they all end up connecting to some degree.
Sure, I'm sure.
Like, not all of them, but I feel like to some degree they all end up connecting.
Like, it's actually so crazy.
Yeah. I really like the Meanwhile on Earth section when he's in space, like, getting beat up by Viltrumites or whatever.
Right.
And they do the Meanwhile on Earth. I think that's really interesting.
Interesting.
Yes. Because this is Invincible, right? Like, the book is Invincible, his name is Invincible.
And he's on the cover.
We're supposed to think it's about him.
Right.
But I feel like towards the back half of this compendium, and then a lot more later, the book becomes interested in exploring, like, okay, but there's a whole universe out there. Invincible is only one of them. One of the people that exists in the universe.
But I think it does it
really well.
It does a good job at that.
And that's why I like it, because it's able to show what's so fun about reading Marvel Comics, for example, where you're reading, like, say you like Spider-Man, but it's also like you're also reading Iron Man or whatever. But you only have to buy this.
Yeah, that's
You don't
true.
have to buy everything.
It's the appeal.
Yeah, it's the appeal of
thing.
having all the series and all the different continuity, and it's totally absurd. Also, okay, wait, I forgot to bring up the most absurd thing, and it's one of the earliest things. What? The principal of their school was just promoted to dean of the college he goes to.
It's really funny. And
it's so funny.
The funniest thing is, though, they did that as a way to have the dean be, like, lenient on Mark's bad attendance.
Yeah.
But when he was the principal of the high school, he didn't like Mark because of his bad attendance.
Also, it's college. No one cares.
No one cares.
They make such a... This came out in, like, 2006, by the way, or something. Uh-huh. And they're like, Mark, you can just download your homework from the internet. And he's like...
Another,
Dude, imagine being a superhero in the 90s. You'd have to go to class to get the paper homework.
Or you just wouldn't.
No internet.
What else happened in this? Now Mark has a little brother who is
Mark's
just
little brother.
Mark, but a little bit blue.
He is, he doesn't have a character yet, from what we've read, because he was a baby, obviously.
Mark drank the Grimace shake, dude.
But Oliver doesn't make any sense, because...
No.
The way they explain him is that he ages rapidly because, the bug species that Nolan, that's Omni-Man's name, which they spend like 4 pages going over.
I think like 4 panels.
It felt like 4, because why did they go over it? Why didn't they just say, hi Nolan, that's your name? But anyway, Nolan's bug species that he fucks they live for like 9 months. Mm-hmm. Like, they literally have the life cycle of bugs, I guess.
It's a bug's life.
Yeah. And so, like, Oliver is born, and within a week, he, like, looks like a 1-year-old human because he's growing up really fast. But then I guess what they explain is that since he has, like, his dad's DNA, by the time he is,
It's
like...
the same explanation they did for Mark.
Yeah, but Mark didn't age fast.
No, but Mark aged like a human.
And then he stops.
I
don't know.
So now he ages like a bug, and
I
then
guess.
he stops.
But it doesn't really make any sense.
It's the most convenient explanation for the comic book.
I was just thinking about it. But anyway, so Oliver is, like... I don't like him.
Can I talk about something I didn't like about it?
Yeah.
When he was like, read my books, I thought, okay, Mark will read the books, and then he'll figure it out immediately. And then he read the books. It was abundantly obvious what was happening, and he was like, this is such a mystery. And I was really annoyed. I was like, dude.
I'm annoyed that, like, the idea that Omni-Man the whole time was writing books with, like, the secret of how to save everyone, but then he still, like, in issue 7, flies away and, like, come on.
Yeah.
Because I get the point is that you have to humanize his character, like Omni-Man, you have to rehabilitate him, because obviously he's a main character.
His damage, his reputation has been damaged.
Yeah, so
especially
it's
after
like...
he fucked a bug.
But you could have just had it so that he just says, read my books, and Mark reads the books, and it's like, oh shit, this is about Viltrum.
And then it goes somewhere else.
It shouldn't be that Omni-Man wrote exactly what to do!
Yeah, it should have been like a metaphor.
Yeah, or like 1,000 years ago. Because Omni-Man seems to imply that he's been to a lot of planets.
Yeah.
And done this a lot of times.
But it's also, Marcus, just so stupid. He reads those books like 20 times.
Yeah, he's really stupid.
I read a paragraph of one of them, and I was like, oh, I know what's happening.
It's really fun when they put actual, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun. I like that. Oh, also, you know what this compendium reveals to us? Which is really important for lore, and I hope you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really important. The Immortal used to be Abraham.
Yeah, he was Abraham. When I read that, I texted Max, why is the Immortal Abraham Lincoln? And they just acted like it was... Yeah. I was the crazy.
Yeah, because why wouldn't he be?
That's crazy.
I mean, technically, he isn't necessarily confirmed.
He had that hat on.
There's a shot of him, like... with the hat, giving a speech.
And it says, and I was a leader of a country.
It's so funny.
He was Abraham Lincoln.
He was literally Abraham Lincoln.
Shout out to the Immortal, my anti-racist king.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
The implication of that.
Because he freed slavery.
Because he freed the slaves. And then he was assassinated?
Yeah.
How does that make sense? He's immortal.
Because he was in the grave and he just came back alive. Like the same, like
what
happened in the book.
But when in the book they cut off his head and then someone had to reattach his head for him to come back to life.
Yeah, but I guess he probably just pretended to be dead. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Or maybe after long enough he was.
Yeah. But they really care about him. Immortal. Which I was like, I used to not like him because he's just kind of an asshole in the show and that's all I remembered of him. And he's an asshole in the first 20 issues. But he's really interesting. And his whole like speech that he gave to Samson about how everyone he knows keeps just dying.
I think it's supposed to
really
be
sucks.
It's like a parallel to Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Because Omni-Man's main ideology is like, I don't give a fuck about the people I actually care about because I'm just going to live
gone. But
it's
then
like, the Immortal does.
But
also the Immortal's not a great guy because he's sleeping with Duplicate, which is a very transparent thing to do.
They also keep showing different people who will probably be alive during that time that Omni-Man said everyone will be dead.
Yeah.
Which is, interesting. You know? Mm. They keep giving more people just like, oh no, you'll be alive. Like, Oliver will be alive.
Well, he said Oliver would only live for 1,000 years.
Yeah. He's like Oliver might live for like 100 to thousands of years. That is not a range that you can give.
We should talk about Angstrom Levy.
The main villain of this arc.
It was cool.
Yeah, he's really scary.
He's really scary, and then Mark just fucking kills him. And it's really a good moment.
It's really confusing too. Because
Mark, you're like, what happened?
Mark kills him, and then a future Guardians of the Globe shows up. It's like, we know. We told you to, basically. And then it ends.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
for now.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, Angstrom Levy, the multiverse guy, is coming back.
Imagine they drop that, and he's saved by, like, the old Adam and everything, and they never go back to it.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Adam Eve. What a fucking on-the-nose name.
She's a really cool character. Those powers are so cool. And the way they explained it is so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Where she takes huge shits to get rid of the atoms that she created because nothing can be destroyed or whatever. And I'm like, I guess that makes sense.
But it doesn't.
What is she... Never mind.
Doesn't make any sense.
What is she pooping?
I
Like,
don't
if
know.
she built a tree, is she shitting out a tree?
I think she's shitting out the negative of the tree.
So what even is that?
Whatever a tree isn't.
Because, like, with food, it's just the food that you didn't eat, basically.
It doesn't make any sense. It also doesn't really make any sense that Mark can fly faster than her. If
he can't later.
Because, like, if Mark could find whatever Mark is doing to fly that fast, she can just also do it.
Can I tell you something later in this book? She just, like... I won't tell you during what fight, because the fight's pretty important. But she essentially is like, wait, if I can manipulate all atoms, can't I just become God? And then Invincible's like, yeah, but you might die. And she's like, I think I'll win. And then, so she basically becomes God like 18 times over the course of this book. Because she's like, oh shit, I could just do this. And then she gets really tired and she's like, I don't want to be a hero. Because she's cursed with these insane powers and doesn't want to have them.
Yeah. Also, there was a moment... So, like, Nolan gets his shit rocked by the Viltrumites on the bug planet.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets sent to prison to become healthy again and then executed. Really stupid system.
Really funny.
It's really funny.
They don't want to execute him when he's too weak.
Yeah.
They want him to, like...
I know, but it's also just dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's, like, a panel where, like, the culmination of his, like, character development, he's like, I miss Debbie.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe that. Like, he says that, and I'm like... I don't think you do.
I think that,
I'm calling bullshit.
I think he says I miss my wife.
He says I miss my wife.
Which I guess you're supposed to, like, know which one.
Yeah. Because I assumably there has been hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah, so maybe... I mean, I think it's a dumb line, too.
Yeah.
But you could read it as more so him being like, I miss my humanity.
But I also don't believe that he does.
Yeah, not yet, right? So let's see. Let's go to... We have the book. Let's go to that part. Oh, yeah, what do you think about the art now? So we were talking about last time how I was fairly certain that you would like the art better.
I don't know. It doesn't make a strong impression, which I think is the point.
Yeah, I really like it, though. I think it's very crisp and very good. This character...
Yeah. This female Viltrumite that shows up in the back end on, like, chapter, like, 44, I think. Really,
Listen, can I tell you something?
She's drawn.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big spoiler. Listen, unless I'm wrong, she's the one that,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I might be wrong.
You know what? Good for him.
That's the problem with the discourse. People say that.
Oh, but I'm joking.
No, I know, but they're like, him and Adam and Eve were never gonna work out. This is a Viltrumite. He can reform her. Yeah. That's what people say online.
I can fix her. They say I can fix her.
Yeah, the person who raped him. Sorry.
Anyway.
Oh, what do you think about Art? I really like Art. The tailor.
Oh.
Really like him.
Barely in this.
Well, he's in it for a little bit. He has that important conversation.
He's good. You know, I love a wise old man.
I'm a big fan of Art. I'm a big fan of this. I can't find the page. I'm a big fan of this book. Just having characters where Mark can just talk to them sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Also, you know what else I'm a big fan of? I am a really big fan of what is obviously supposed to be like Plastic Man. The Martian.
The Martian.
He's so funny.
I don't know who Plastic Man is.
It doesn't matter.
He's a very funny character.
Right. It's that's why I wanted to find it, because it's so dramatic.
Immediately found it, by the way.
It's so dramatic.
It is. And it's right next to this great drawing of Alan.
Dude, Alan is the main character of this book.
I really love Alan.
They love Alan. Everyone loves Alan.
His girlfriend? I really, really wish they could draw women any other way.
Oh, yeah.
His girlfriend? It makes me really uncomfortable.
Because in Alan's girlfriend's culture, they don't have sex.
There's a whole chapter...
Oh, sorry, Alan's culture.
There's a whole chapter where it starts by Amber and Mark making up, and then they start having sex.
For the first time ever.
And then the narrator's like, oh, I guess we have to go look at something else that's happening. And then it's Alan and his girlfriend, and they start having sex, and the narrator's like, nothing else to do.
But Alan doesn't want to have sex. That's the whole thing.
But the narrator's literally like...
Yeah, no, I know.
There's
it's
nothing
so
else
funny.
I can do.
But the girlfriend... Okay, so basically, I guess in Alan's culture, procreation is like...
It's not a thing.
It's like it's no longer sexual.
Only artificial, yeah.
It's like cloning because of the Viltrumites, basically. They wiped everyone out.
Look, the narrator is literally like...
Yeah, no, I know. I remember. This is a family title after. It's really funny.
The narrator is so awesome.
And then his girlfriend...
Guys, just issue 23.
It's a great
That's
issue.
the great issue.
Yeah. I love Alan. I also love how Mark introduces every single person he knows, alien, bug, whatever, to Debbie, and every single time Debbie says, okay.
I don't think Alan's met Debbie.
Isn't Alan in Mark's house?
No. He was in his dorm.
Oh,
And
his
William
dorm.
found.
Right, his William found. Yeah.
If I saw an alien and it was Alan, I would...
No, Alan's really nice looking. Oh, what do you think about the Rick stuff? Like, the payoff finally.
Oh my god.
Way better than the show!
Way better than the show.
Because it takes so long!
It takes so long, and it makes Mark look like such a dick.
Yeah, because William's like, dude, you knew him, and you have superpowers, and the canvas isn't doing anything, and you're also doing nothing.
Yeah. Like, Mark is such an asshole. He just doesn't care.
Rick's missing for, what, like 4 months or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't do anything about it.
And the second he tries at all, he succeeds.
Yeah, obviously. Because he's way more powerful than anyone else there.
Barely more powerful than the
robot things.
The robots.
Yeah, but...
Like, Mark sucks.
The show, I don't know, I think it's also just, like, more interesting to have him, like, have these problems where he's still having, like, these stupid normal superhero problems in college, and he's also having the giant intergalactic literal war.
Yeah.
But in the show, the way they do it is that, like, he's still in college, and, like, his dad's still around when he fights these guys.
Yeah.
Like, there's no stakes.
There's no stakes, and the payoff is too quick, because Mark's not an asshole, because as
Yeah.
soon as it comes up, he cares about it and does it.
Yeah.
But the central point of this story is that Mark could have literally stopped everything.
Yeah.
If he just cared to. But he didn't.
Yeah. It's way better in this.
Yeah.
It's just, I really like D.A. Sinclair. I think he's drawn so funny. I love when comic artists are like, you are not supposed to like this character. I'm going to give him the worst face you have ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Like, he always has shadows around him. Like, he's like a walking evil. He's awesome. What do you think about Donald just being a robot who just
really funny.
joins one of those fights?
It's really funny.
It's really funny. I don't like that scene, though. That, like, weird story where there's, like, that big problem and because Mark's out in space so that all the Guardians have to go fight, and then
I thought
Cecil
it was funny.
yeah, it's funny, but then Cecil, like, gets mad at Mark, and
It's like, okay.
It's like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's definitely way better that he went into space.
Also, literally nothing happened because it all got reversed.
Because that's what happens every time. That was so funny.
It was really funny.
That was the whole point. They were like, imagine if it was an event comic book, but you missed out on the event. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Lizard League.
Lizard League. Listen, I don't know what that is.
It's really funny.
It's really funny.
Rex just got shot in the head and lived. Of all the characters who could have gotten shot in the head and lived, I really wish it wasn't Rex.
Yeah, he sucks.
Don't like him.
Isn't it really weird, by the way, that now that Robot has his body, it's way weirder in the comics than it is in the show. Because they're drawn the exact same. Robot sucks.
He really wants to fuck that child.
Really wants to fuck that child, and that child really doesn't want to fuck him.
Yeah.
She has no idea what's happening. She's like, did you get an entire body for me? Because I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, me? No.
He's always talking about how smart he is, but cannot get a clue.
Cannot get a girl, dude.
No, L Riz.
Negative Riz in Robot. Oh, there's also this weird issue that isn't an issue.
From the Pact.
Yeah. I don't like this.
I struggled to get through this.
I didn't like this. The art's good.
It's just like a bunch of random
Sorry,
characters.
I just opened to a random page in the Pact, and Amber's... Sorry, not Amber. Adam's,
That's not her either.
That's
a
that?
random girl.
It looks exactly like Adam
It's
Eve.
not Adam Eve. It's a random girl.
Wait, are you joking?
No.
The whole time I was reading it.
It's not.
Adam Eve.
It's Zephyr.
Okay, sorry. Zephyr. Listen, her tits are bigger than her head.
Yep.
I think they, like, launched a side series or something.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Which is about superheroes in, like, Ohio.
Yeah.
William is still not gay.
Well, I guess Rick's not really, like, a human yet, right?
He's getting there.
Yeah, I think once him and Rick start, like, fucking, he comes out. Because usually when you fuck another man, you have to come out.
You would think. I'm still good, though.
Are we gonna get demonetized?
I think we've talked about numerous sexual crimes.
What do you think about the pacing between the Angstrom Levy thing? Because it, like, all happens in one issue.
I didn't mind it.
I think I mind it a little bit. And I think it's a problem with all superhero comics, which is that, like, this is like
a core right now.
Huh?
The Gala core right now.
I don't know. Does your chair go any lower?
No.
Because obviously it's like this huge moment in his life, and Debbie's really traumatized, and he's really traumatized, but also he takes care of it in one issue. And it's like...
But I think the pacing is supposed to be abrupt.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's not supposed to kill people in cold blood.
I know, but I guess he doesn't talk about it either after.
He does.
He does, but not enough. I don't know. I remember it being a bigger moment.
It was a big moment.
I guess I remember it being even bigger.
Another question. When he got together with Eve, why the fuck did he tell her why?
Wait, what do you mean?
He was like, yeah, by the way, you from the future came and told me.
Oh, I don't know. That's really stupid.
That's the dumbest.
Because then Eve, you have to say yes, right? If the future you was like...
Eve was like, that's weird, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Because obviously. Like, what is wrong with him?
I feel like it pressures... I don't like that.
What is wrong with him?
Because he obviously was like, you have to say yes. The future you loves me.
No,
you must love me.
She wanted to date him.
I know.
They were about to go out.
I know.
And then he told her.
I know.
And she was just like...
They date later.
Especially because he admitted that he had no feelings for her until the future one.
Yeah, it's weird because they spend so much time with him being like, I'm going to pick Amber. I like Amber. And he's with Amber for like an issue after he picks her.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
That conversation with Art was for naught.
This is not a critical feminist text.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. I mean, you would be able to tell just from the drawings. If there was no text bubbles, you would know it's not a very feminist text.
No. I really do like Debbie, though.
It's crazy how Invincible and One Piece have the exact same problems.
Yeah. 34, dude. What do you think about the older Guardians of the Globe? I think they look cool, and also, who are these people? Look at this. This is ridiculous. There's a character, we don't even know her name.
She's got hoo-ha's the size of Mars.
Dude, it's ridiculous. They're the same. Okay, there's another character next to her holding a giant hammer, which is presumably like his huge weapon that's super powerful.
He's Thor.
The hammer's smaller.
Smaller, yeah.
Yeah, the hammer.
She's wearing these huge boxing gloves that are roughly the same size.
It's totally ridiculous.
It's actually crazy.
You know Ryan Ottley, the one who drew this? He drew Spider-Man for a while, and he toned it down.
For Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some drawings of Black Cat on the internet.
Really? Oh, well, listen. They're not supposed to tone it down for Black Cat.
That's him, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell.
He's really good at drawing. He's really good at drawing superhero comics.
He's good at drawing with one hand.
It's such a cartoon. He's a good guy.
If you ever have to say that about someone, they're a bad guy.
I've met him.
Oh, yeah?
At Comic-Con, yeah, he's nice. He tables.
Good thing you're not a girl. Would have gone way worse.
Or better.
Depends on your proportions.
Oh, Oscar was telling me that people online are mad that Season 2 has less busty Bugs.
Mm-hmm. And less busty Alan's girlfriend.
But do they still have, like... I mean, even if she's not busty, her character is horny.
Her character fucks Alan the alien.
Yeah, and Alan doesn't want to.
And then gets sad when Alan can't fuck her anymore because he's almost dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why does she need to be busty to be sexual?
Let me pull up a picture of
Here, I'll go to her on
Nolan Bug wife.
Oh, also when Mark and Amber first have sex, Amber's like, "How do you get this costume off?" And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "How?" And he's like, "What do you mean? Why would we want it off?" He does not understand. Omni-Man dumped his wife for a bug.
Yeah, can you guys see this?
I wonder if the show is still popular.
Look.
Amazon ruined it. Oh, yeah, they are significantly less busty. I'm not going to lie to you.
Significantly less.
I didn't expect... Wow, they look totally different.
Way better.
Yeah, way better.
Not even...
Which is weird
Not even in, like, bikinis.
My understanding is that the character design on the show is still by, like, Ottley and Walker. Like, I don't think...
It's the same with, like, I think they made the fish less busty, too.
Yeah, like, it still looks basically the same. It's just the dimensions are different. Alright.
Probably a good change.
Yeah.
Makes me way less uncomfortable, because those bugs...
It's weird. It's really weird.
They really want you to be like, I get it.
I love this book so much. It's so charming. It's just so fun.
I really liked how Mark and Nolan just got their shit. They were fucked up from the Viltrumites on the Bug Planet. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, they were really fucked
They're
up.
good at maintaining the Viltrumites as, like, a menacing...
Oh, yeah, every time the Viltrumites show up, they get fucked up. Mark's yet to, like, succeed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't go toe-to-toe with them at all.
I have a fun experiment. I have a fun question to close out the episode. We finished a third of this book now. What do you think's happening? What do you think's going to happen? Like, what are your...
What are my predictions?
What do you think is... Presumably 1/3 of the book should give you a very good idea. You know?
What are my predictions?
Yeah, what do you think this is really about? What's going to happen next?
I think they're gonna... All of these endeavors that they're doing on Earth, like the Reaniman army and stuff, that's not gonna pan out. That's not gonna do anything. And it's gonna be like a huge moment when it doesn't do anything. Angstrom Levy's gonna come back way badder, way worse. It's gonna be a huge thing. It's gonna be really cool. Obviously, the future of the Guardians of the Globe are gonna come back and help them out and do stuff. Maybe even fight them. What else? They're gonna be like making progress on the Viltrum thing, like making some progress, and then there's just gonna be this one Viltrumite that's way stronger than all the other ones that everyone's gonna be super scared of, and it's gonna have a super menacing aura, who's gonna be the new main object of resistance for the book. And what do I think is gonna happen to Alan? I think Alan's gonna fucking die. I think they're just gonna murk Alan.
I am really excited for next compendium.
Can you give me like a out of 10 rating for that prediction?
Some of it was 10 out of 10. Some of it was just whatever.
Okay.
It gets really good.
It's already really good.
Yeah, but it is not. Okay, here's what I mean. It does not stop.
It gets better.
Oh yeah, because here everything's set up
the
now.
vibes.
Like, you see how everything is set up for just a million stories.
Yeah,
they're not. They don't spend more time setting annoying stuff up.
I'm excited for the eventual arc where Mark goes to all the planets that Nolan went to and sees how he affected them.
I thought you were saying that you were excited for the eventual arc where Mark has sex with a busty alien.
Well, that's also inevitable. I'm also excited for when he's just like 3,000 years old.
Yeah, that's
what I'm really excited for.
That's what I was thinking about too when I was reading this.
Like, I want to see the future where he's really old and Oliver's really old.
This book is really long.
Really old.
Yeah. Would you live to be 3,000? Shocking that I made it to 7:30 p.m. today.
In the year 3000.
We played that on the way back from Big Time Rush.
Yeah. We went to a Big Time Rush concert together.
Me and Oscar.
Yeah.
That's it. No one else.
What else do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be really cool when the future Guardians of the Globe are just the current Guardians of the Globe.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a really fun moment.
Yeah.
Just in my brain. It's going to make me happy.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy that you liked it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Can I make one more prediction?
Of course.
I think the Reaniman thing is going to fail.
Yeah.
But eventually some important character,
sure,
maybe a Viltrumite, maybe Oliver will die, and they'll make some souped up person a Reaniman who will be, like, really crazy.
That would be interesting. A Reaniman, by the way, great name.
Oh, yeah. Rolls off the tongue.
Really rolls off the tongue. Reading it's kind of stupid. Saying it.
Prediction for who the Reaniman will be? The Immortal. Because he will die again.
Why would he choose to be reanimated at this point?
And then they just put him in that thing.
That's really funny.
Because right now he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks.
All they talk about is how much he sucks.
And how depressed he is.
Yeah. So he'll get a big power boost.
By the way, why do they keep having orgies with Duplicate? It's so weird.
Because they like it.
But why doesn't she, like, want to have sex just herself?
She does. She does it.
But why does she always make copies of herself while doing it?
Presumably she shares the consciousness of all of them.
Oh.
You know.
That sounds too overwhelming.
Can we talk about how dumb of a name Multi-Paul is?
He sucks.
That's really funny. Duplicate, great name.
Duplicate.
Multi-Paul.
Well, I think because they didn't name him. They named Duplicate, and they're like, okay, what do I do now?
Multi-Paul is almost multiple. Almost.
Alright, do you want to,
I want to check if I wrote anything pressing down.
Oh, yeah. You wrote a bunch of very split-second reactions.
I was reading it, and I said, Mark is such a little fucker. This is my final point.
Okay.
I think the main difference I'm noticing between Invincible and One Piece, besides the innumerable differences...
That was not what I expected.
But just like the storytelling style. One Piece likes to stay on one thing
Oh,
for
yeah.
just a little while.
Yeah.
Like, in manga in general, too, like, all shonen really follows this. It's like,
Yeah.
we're doing this arc for the next X amount of time. But
4 years.
this doesn't have arcs.
No.
This is everything happens at once all the time.
Well, it has. You could certainly identify like bookends of the character.
You know what I
moments,
mean.
But yeah, well, because shonen is battle manga, right? That's what it means.
No, it doesn't mean
isn't it?
anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's supposed to just be fights.
Well, it's just manga catered towards younger boys.
Yeah, Invincible doesn't care about that. They're just trying to tell a story.
No, I know, but
No, I'm
shonen
saying that's
doesn't
why.
really dictate what they write. It just
Oh, I thought they
dictates
did.
who publishes
I
them.
don't know. That's weird.
But it's just a difference I'm
Yeah,
noticing. Like,
it's an interesting storytelling difference.
I don't really prefer one or the other. I think it's a little bit easier to fly through arc-based stuff, but this is really entertaining.
Yeah.
And plus, if you're like, I don't like this one arc that's happening in Invincible, you're in luck because a million other things are happening. But if you don't like the One Piece arc,
That's what I
you're
struggle
kinda
with
fucked.
manga, is that sometimes it opens really slow and really boring.
Mhm.
And the opening arc for manga could be like... I mean, we've read so much of One Piece... Not so much, obviously, but we've read like...
very little One Piece.
Yeah, but we've read 40 chapters, which is a good amount in
400
general.
pages. I think what we read for just this is 400 pages.
Yeah, but they haven't even found a boat yet, dude.
Because they're fucking around.
But that's what I mean! Like, it's still entertaining, but it could get boring. I prefer this a little bit. Because, like...
It'll grow on you.
I like it. Because it's still... Because Oda's good at writing. But a worse writer wouldn't...
Dude, you have not experienced a masterfully written shonen arc. It's
No.
actually crazy.
I haven't.
But anyway, I think they both have their merits. It was just an interesting...
No, they do.
difference I
They
noticed.
said...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You
That's
want
all.
to
Sure. That was terrible. We have to do it again.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Go.
Do the thing.
Bye!